Today, what we're going to talk about is the PHAT workout, the PHAT acronym developed by Dr. Layne Norton. We're going to talk about what this workout is, what inspired it, the do's and don'ts, and how it compares to other programming. So by the end of the video, you can make a decision if this is something you want to potentially integrate into your training today. So when I say the PHAT workout, it is not the FAT, but rather PHAT. It's an acronym for Power Hypertrophy Adaptive Training, okay? So it's a model developed by Dr. Layne Norton, and the goal of this program is to combine two types of programming, powerlifting and bodybuilding type of principles. So you'll get a little bit of high volume, a little bit of heavier weights, and the hope is that it makes you bigger, stronger, and more capable than before. So one of the things when I looked into this type of workout, which I've seen in the past, but spent a little bit more time researching for this video, one of the things I thought about immediately was, isn't it just basically power building? That's not the case because the scheme and the routine is established in a little bit of a different way to help you get the most out of it in the sense of trying to elicit a strong, powerful response of the body while us also getting the benefit of the hypertrophic response of building more muscle. So with the PHAT workout, what is the PHAT workout? Like I mentioned, power hypertrophy blended into adaptive training. Now the model is going to look like this. You're going to have your power upper day, your power lower day, and on those days, so they're back to back, they're going to be more about compound movements to work more so on those traditional powerlifting movements like the squat, the bench, a deadlift, an RDL, etc. Those first 2 days are going to be the stronger days where you lift more weight and you're challenged with a higher intensity and a lower rep scheme. But once that's done, you'll take a rest day, then you'll go into more of your bodybuilding scheme. And from the way it's broken down into some of the examples I saw, you had your back and shoulders day, you had your lower day, and again, these are more of a hypertrophic bodybuilding style of day. So you'll have your back and shoulders, your leg day, which is different than the power leg day. And then the fifth day is going to be your chest and arms day. To break it back down one more time, you got 5 days. You got your power upper, power lower, take a rest day. The third day is going to be your back and shoulders, leg day, higher rep schemes, and then chest and arms day, which is going to be higher rep schemes. So day 1 and day 2 are more the powerlifting days, compound big movements to get you stronger and more capable. And then days 3, 4, and 5 are going to be more based on hypertrophic type of training, higher reps, lower intensity, and they're going to follow more of the bodybuilding style routine. So maybe more isolation-based movements and targeting specific muscle fibers of the body. So when I was looking at the PHAT workout, another workout which I happened to make a video of was the PHUL workout, PHUL, which is the power and hypertrophy upper and lower scheme. Some people think that maybe there's a blend or maybe they almost mean the exact same thing, but it's different. So with the PHAT workout, it's a 5-day split. Day 1 and day 2 is heavy, 3, 4, 5, higher reps, lower intensity. It's a completely different mindset than days 1 and 2. On the PHUL workout, PHUL, power hypertrophy upper and lower, it's a 4-day split. It's upper, lower, upper, lower. Now, with the PHUL workout, just to give you a summary of the previous video I made, your first day might be heavier bench, dumbbell incline, but then when you go into another upper day, instead of it being like a heavy bench, it might be a heavy incline and then a dumbbell bench press. So they flip the choice of equipment so that you get a little bit of variety in the PHUL workout. But when you really do look at both schemes, on the PHUL workout, you'll probably hit a muscle group once or twice a week, actually probably twice a week, maybe a little bit more. But the PHUL workout almost seems similar day 1, 2 to 3 and 4, except you flip certain things like I mentioned. Maybe the first time it was an RDL, and then the next time it's a deadlift or vice versa. First time it might have been a dumbbell bench, and then next time it's going to be a barbell bench. So you go upper, lower, break, 4-day split. Now with the PHAT workout, the difference between the PHUL one is that it's a 5-day split, and you might be hitting a muscle group up to 3 times a week, which scientifically there is a benefit to size building tactics that go with a higher frequency amount of days per week you use for a muscle group. So what essentially I'm trying to say is the more you work a certain muscle within a week, it's seen in science that it helps grow the muscle. Obviously you need rest, so you don't want to abuse it too much, but things like a dumbbell incline or a flat bench or a decline, you're working different parts of the fiber, so maybe you're working the whole muscle throughout the week. That is what we're looking at when it comes to the FAT workout. And to go back to the main scheme and structure, remember, it's a heavy upper, heavy lower break, and then you got back, shoulders, legs, and then chest and arms. All day 3, 4, and 5 are going to be a higher rep scheme to help you grow those muscle fibers and to make them bigger than ever. So let's start talking about who fits where in the argument of the full workout versus the fat workout. So let's say you're a casual gym goer and you just want to go in there and get bigger and stronger. You're not necessarily worried about competing or doing anything crazy. You might want to work the full workout. Upper, lower, rest, upper, lower, rest. The reason why is because with that workout, the intensity isn't as much as the fat workout because of the 5 rep versus 4 rep scheme, and the intensity is in the volumes. The full workout, a little bit more mainstream exercise selection, benching, incline, deadlifts, RDLs, squatting, etc. You're hitting some of the main movements that hit a lot of muscle groups, and they're in a way maybe easier to integrate because now you're working multiple muscles at the same time. The fat workout might not benefit you because it's a lot of variety, it's a lot of movement. You got your heavy days, and then you got your high rep days for building muscle. So it seems a bit more advanced for someone who is maybe not casual, maybe someone who's intermediate to advanced and maybe has a desire to potentially go into powerlifting or bodybuilding. So I would say for someone who's more casual about it, they might want to go that route. Now, if you're a powerlifter, would you choose the full or the fat workout? I almost think it's the same argument. Full if you're a beginner powerlifter, but then if you're a little bit more advanced, you might want to integrate the fat workout because you'll hit your heavy day on day 1, heavy on day 2, your upper lower, and then you get to work these little muscle groups on days 3, 4, and 5 to get them bigger, stronger, and potentially, because the muscle's bigger, it has more potential to lift more weight. So it's almost like you're building some foundational concepts before you go into your heavy stuff too. So a powerlifter might want to look into it, maybe a bodybuilder too who wants to try to integrate compound movements. So it's hard because when you're a beginner and you want to learn new things, something's better than nothing. A powerlifter might benefit maybe a little bit more on the fat or the full, depending on if they're advanced or intermediate. But there's also some contradictions to the program that just are hard for me not to accept. And that's why I'm stumbling on my words throughout the video, because strength comes in seasons. And one of the hardest things for me as someone who has my advanced degrees in exercise physiology and has my certifications, to train power at the same time of hypertrophy, it's like a seesaw. You train a lot of power, hypertrophy is going to go down. Train a lot of hypertrophy, power is going to go down. So for them to coexist, yeah, it's possible, but you're not going to advance yourself in either direction. So if someone's a powerlifter, they're not getting all the power movements they need because there's a hypertrophy type training in there. And the same thing for bodybuilding. They want to build more size, but there's a lot of powerlifting in there too. So it's where do you want to make it work? That's what makes it so troubling for someone who's maybe almost an advanced powerlifter who wants to be the best at benching, squatting, and deadlifting. It might not even be the fat or full workout makes the most sense for them. But like I said, consistency is key, and if you don't have a program, it might be good to follow these things just to see what happens with them. But from an expert like myself in the field of performance training, it's hard to really say if a powerlifter, a bodybuilder in their arena of expertise could really dive into either workout and have the best benefit. I think you really need to follow a true powerlifting or a true bodybuilding program to meet the demands of what you want to achieve. Now, if you decide to do the fat workout, how long does the fat workout last? A single workout could be, based on what I'm looking at with rep schemes and rest rates, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours. That would make most sense for day 1 and 2. Days 3, 4, and 5, since they're a little bit more about isolating muscles, maybe it's 60 to 90 minutes. It just depends. How long can you use the FAT program? You can use it for as long as you want, indefinitely, because you can keep rotating ideas. You can work up to heavy bench, squat, and deadlift, and then start over, go sets of 5, sets of 6, sets of 4. And then on your back and shoulder, leg, or chest and arms day, you can keep rotating movements in there that'll meet the demand of those muscle fibers to help them grow and get better. So there is no end point with fat. The length of them could be 60 to 120 minutes, 1 to 2 hours. Just depends on if you're on your power day or if you're on your hypertrophy day. So like I mentioned, the split is power upper, power lower. So heavy stuff, rest break, back and shoulders. That could be like bent rows, dumbbell shoulder press, lat raises. Leg day could be like the RDLs, leg extensions, leg curls, and then on the chest and arms day could be close grip bench, some kind of incline, push downs, curls, etc. So those days you really work on fatiguing the muscle, and then days 1 and 2 you really want to work on strengthening the muscle in that sense. Just in general, when it comes down to it, the FAT workout, it's consistent, it's got a specific framework, and if you run it enough, you can start to see, hey, where are the things going good with this program, and hey, where are the things not going good with this program. Like I mentioned before, someone who's a casual gym goer might want to work the full program instead, because it's a 4-day split, and they use most traditional compound movements. But if anybody does the FAT program, I do commend them. It's a little bit more advanced. Dr. Layne Norton put a lot of thought into it, obviously, and he's very successful with the things he does. But like I mentioned, to coexist between power and hypertrophy is a really hard thing to do, so I'm not sure if it's really going to make the most sense for maybe an advanced powerlifter or an advanced bodybuilder. But maybe you can chime in and let us know your thoughts. Did you look up the FAT workout? Did you work up the full workout? Did you look them up? Did you see what they're about? Maybe leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts about the video. Like the channel, subscribe. Check out my other video about the full workout. See what you think about that. And maybe, just maybe, at the end of this video, you've come to a realization on where you want to go with your training. Do you want to abide to the FAT, the full, a 5-3-1, different type of training model? What makes most sense for you? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comments below, and hopefully we'll catch you next time.